Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Lori Spina from Human Resources. I welcome you again for the April 2021 Samaritan of the Month presentation and our celebration. So with that today, I'd like to once again open with Catholic Health's mission statement, which is, we at Catholic Health humbly join together to bring Christ's healing mission and the mission of mercy of the Catholic Church expressed in Catholic healthcare to our communities. And to open our celebration today, I invite Chaplain Kevin Stolz to lead us in prayer. Thank you, Chaplain Kevin.
Because he's your favorite.
Last week, we entered into the summit of our faith, Jesus' passion, death, and resurrection. Let us imagine what it was like for Mary Magdalene and the disciples to encounter the risen Jesus, his wounds of love still visible in his hands and feet and side. With this image before us, let me share with you these words of Father Harold Buto. When we say Jesus Christ is risen today, we don't mean only that Jesus Christ was risen once upon a time. We mean that the risen Christ is all around us, in the eyes and faces of those sitting beside us, in the people we meet all the time. He walks the earth today, teaching, healing, touching, suffering, dying, and rising. If we look for the risen Jesus with faith and hope and love, we will find him. Seek him, find him, love him in every person by serving their needs. Then truly, not only is Christ risen, but we too are living a risen life by his power, his grace, and his love. Our honorees today, Samantha Hoyler of PACU and the EPIC Nursing PI team, embody that risen life in Christ as they bring Christ's healing mission to all they serve.
Thank you, Chaplain Kevin, as always. And yes, that's right. This month we are celebrating Samantha Hoyler as our Samaritan of the Month. Congratulations. And our EPIC and Nursing PI team. And today we'll also have some 5-star patient safety heroes and a very nice story about some clutch and caring heroes in our midst as well. So we'd like to tell you a little bit about Samantha. In fact, Gara had sent to me a wonderful patient experience story, and she said, I would love to see Samantha recognized. And hence the committee certainly wholeheartedly supported that. And her family, co-workers, other Good Samaritans among us said, please can we come? And absolutely, it's so nice to have family and family history at Good Sam, and that's what we're all about. And I know how proud your family is of you, Samantha, and what you've accomplished here at Good Sam, and what a role model you've become. So you joined us back in June of 2006. You've worked in the PACU since March of 2019, but initially started in health information management as a seasonal employee. Also worked in patient access in the emergency department. Also a nursing assistant in the flu pool, and then a nurse in the NICU and emergency department before landing in the PACU. You are pleasant, happy, smiling, consistently working hard to comfort your patients, helpful to your colleagues. In addition to rigorous school and clinical schedule, you finished the nurse practitioner program, and congratulations to you. Your contributions towards the COVID crisis in the hospital were admirable. You were redeployed to Maine to care for some of the sickest patients during unprecedented times. Recently, a letter from this patient talked about the amazing care she received from you, and this is what she shared with us. My pre-op care was in the hands of 3 nurses, whose names I've tried very hard to remember. In fact, she even said, I know I don't write that well, but I'm still a little anti-anesthesia, foggy brain, but she says, I will do the best I can. But she says, one name certainly sticks out of my care team, and that was Samantha. She really took the word, quote unquote, care, which gets thrown around a lot, but seriously, she really took it to heart. From the moment I was placed in Samantha's care, I could tell she was it. Upon my arrival, she was immediately on the mobile computer and reviewing everything with me. One specific thing I remember was that the nurse who was putting in my IV had said to Samantha something about needing to do something or start something, and Samantha promptly and politely replied with, "Yeah, already taken care of." Then the IV nurse said to her in a fun-loving way, "Wow, you really are a one-woman show." So it's amazing how patients see that interaction, and if we all are so cohesive and together on that care plan and delivery, they really have a sense of comfort and really appreciate the teamwork. I feel like this fun, spirited exchange really showed Samantha's accountability and commitment to her patients. She knew something needed to be done and did it without having to be reminded or told to do so. By looking at Samantha's body language and the thoroughness of her questions and responses to my queries, you could tell she enjoyed her job. The pride of doing a job well done and taking seriously an elective surgery, just as she would a non-elective surgery, showed to me great integrity. She and I had a nice chat about how COVID is affecting everyone and the difficulties of working in a hospital during a pandemic, as well as the different hats staff had to wear to adapt when their COVID numbers were at their worst. It didn't feel like just a passing small talk conversation. It felt like we were really commiserating over the traumatic experience that COVID was putting on every human being in different ways. It was nice to talk about that. I could tell she really wanted to help during those most difficult times. After surgery, I was in ASU North with complications from the anesthesia. I had to return to the pre-post-op room, as she put it. When I returned, I saw Samantha. She was starting her next shift, and I was immediately relieved to see that she was there. After the complications from the anesthesia, seeing that familiar face, one I trusted, was extremely comforting. She checked in with me about my pain, really listened to my concerns. She assisted me with all the challenges I was facing during my stay here in the hospital. She stayed in contact with my surgeon as well as my mother so that no one was in the dark about my recovery. Samantha, what an amazing experience you created for somebody. And it's amazing that the work we do here every day, people remember, and they will remember forever. And that's all about the care that keeps people coming back to Good Sam. And we so appreciate that. And for that reason, we are so happy to honor you as our April Samaritan of the Month. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry, would you prefer? Would you like a pen or a wristlet? Do the wristlet. Thank you. That Lori doesn't spear me sticker. Thank you so much.
Yes, happy. No blinking. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And as often we reflect in the first Impressions Good Samaritan Award conversations, departments come to discussion about sometimes the unseen quiet heroes behind the scenes. And for this reason, our EPIC and nursing PI team came to light. And we had, particularly with the COVID vaccination programs that we were running, we got to learn more about EPIC than HR ever thought they'd learned about EPIC, and scheduling and open schedules, and then communicating to staff and revising our communications to staff. And I have to say, you know, working with Barbara and Joe and Terry Ann, and they just rose to the occasion, I can't tell you, in countless ways. 7 days a week, helping us to orchestrate that. And then, of course, every month, Nursing PI, I always give Marie credit for our compiling of letters and cards and so forth. So those are the interactions we've had, but the list goes on what this team handles. Number one, assistance with the magnet document, graphs, data analysis, providing updated data to nursing units so they can have prompt discussions on interventions to improve those clinical outcomes. Committee membership, whether it be falls, recruitment and retention, patient experience, and ND and QI coordination, uploading data, confirming outcomes, supplying quarterly PI charts to the units along with quarterly HCAHPS results, assisting in the creation of new EPIC reports with the users, just all around anything we need from the data, crunching in the EPIC world, and being our voice for things the system needs to address for our patient safety and process issues. They're at the forefront. So the team working on EPIC and EMR, training for all new staff and transferring staff who uses EPIC. And I can't tell you, when we started the vaccination program, the medical students that became vaccinators and all the other people now who had their hands in it was a major effort. Rapid training for the travel nurses that we needed during the COVID surge. Projects regarding CHS and desktop, the Imprivata tab, Go Single Sign-On implementation, the e-prescribing registration, SpectraLink phone training and rollouts, tissue analytics and the software updates, MobiLab mobile application, Philips Care event patient monitoring, EPIC Rover, CHS radiology and HR projects, COVID-19 vaccination scheduling both in EPIC and on the web, consent form labeling for thousands of vaccine recipients, quality management, assisting all departments, posting and archiving of all policies. Just a few things that this team actually does to support all of our day-to-day operations. So that's really quite a list. So I know when Tracy went to share with the group, they were thrilled to pieces, and we just want you guys to know we really appreciate what you do each and every day, and it's nice to highlight and to tell everybody how great it is. So as you guys come up, Joe Supernaut and I happen to graduate both from Arizona State, and if you ever wonder, this little Sparky mask, and that's the mascot for Arizona State. So go Sun Devils, and I always have to laugh when I see him. So he's just wonderful to work with, and you guys have all been a great resource to us in so many ways. So we are very happy to celebrate you as our team of the month.
Go Marie.
Who's the mascot? Sparky the mouse? Or Mickey's the shell? There you go. Thanks, Sarah.
Everybody looking at me? Cover my belly. Okay, good. Smile. Good again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, congratulations.
Roman, thanks for coming.
Nothing like that collegial support. So certainly as we work through our eye care values of integrity, compassion, accountability, respect, and excellence, we also take pause every morning, not only to talk about a patient experience story, but a patient safety story. So we have a number of 5-star patient safety heroes. We continue to try to catch people to be here at 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, but we have a few that I know could not make it today. But we do have Liz Malone and Erin Doherty to tell their story about their good time.
Erin? So I'd like to introduce you to Erin Doherty, one of our nurses for Surgical ICU. Actually, I believe you are you Surgical ICU? You're going to be the focal Surgical ICU. And so Erin is a brand new nurse who has entered our critical care residency program, which makes this even more incredible. So I'd like to honor Erin with recognizing a cross-check in prevention of medication error. And so at the beginning of her shift, she was doing her meds. And when she came across one of the medications, as she was scanning it at the bedside, it gave her an alert that it was a wrong med. When you looked at it, it looked like it was the right med, but it was labeled with a different label from a different medication. And so she stopped what she was doing. She did a cross-check. She went back to the nurse's station, called pharmacy. They confirmed that there were 2 meds in the Pyxis that were mislabeled, and she prevented the patient from receiving the wrong medication. So she is one of our true 5-star patient safety heroes and a nurse resident. So this is really
I don't believe that we were able to have Kathy join us for Jamie Warner, right? I think things were crazy on the D unit. And Katiana is not available today from the ED, and Eric Ramdas from the CTICU. So you're going to have to hold on those stories until we reconvene with them and tell you again some wonderful patient safety stories. So in addition to our patient experience and our patient safety, sometimes community stories come back to us with, we can't believe how Good Samaritan really rose to the occasion on many walks of life. So as it would happen just a few mornings ago, about 5:30 in the morning, there happened to be a couple of dogs loose on the Robert Moses Parkway. So can you just imagine, right, the horror of what that might look like? So it would turn out that Mike Passanti from Plant Engineering happened to stop his car and jump out, and I guess Plant Engineering is here and maybe accepting on behalf of Mike Passanti, who couldn't be here this afternoon. And then Jamie Deegan came along, and the two of them were corralling these two dogs on Robert Moses Parkway. So, of course, we didn't know much about it except that Tracy receives a call in HR from a woman from the community, Lindsay. She says, I have to tell you this story. You're not going to believe it. I have to find out who these people were and if there's any way to reward them. She says, I can't tell you how much it meant to me to have my dogs never get out. They mean the world to me and my family. And to know that your employees stopped and brought them back to my front door at 5:30 in the morning. She says, I can't get over how appreciative I am. Now, I don't think Michael could be here, but Jamie, I believe, is. Jamie's here. Come on down. Mike Passanti.
Does this make you a dog
No.
catcher?
I am.
Sean, you're going to accept on behalf of all the people.
We're all going to accept.
Just like the Academy Awards and accepting on behalf of
It really is.
Michael will really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sure. But again, it once again puts out in the community, you guys are willing to do anything, whatever it takes, and whether we're saving lives in the building or on the Robert Moses Parkway, it doesn't matter. So again, my warmest congratulations to all, to Samantha, continuing to be such a role model for your colleagues, to the Epic and Nursing PI team. We appreciate you so much. And of course, Jamie and Michael, yay, and Erin as well. Keep up that good work, those good catches, always cross-checking. We really appreciate what everybody's doing out there and how difficult it's been. But at least we can start to gather in larger groups by the month, and we look forward to our next month in May when we'll be doing more of the same. So take good care of you, your families, and we'll see you again same time next month.